Hello, it's me, Marianne, your host. And today we're going to talk about self-abandonment, emotional exhaustion, and what happens when you slowly lose connection with yourself while trying to keep everything else together. Mm, I think this week made me realize how easy it is to ignore your own needs when you're so focused on being there for everybody else. And sometimes it happens so slowly that you don't even notice at first. You start adjusting. You adjust your schedule, you adjust your emotions, your comfort, your boundaries. And after a while, uh, you don't even know what you actually need anymore because you're so used to accommodating and making sure that everyone else is happy. Um, One thing that really got me thinking this week was sleep. And I know that sounds random, but for me, sleep affects everything. It affects one's mood, one's patience, the nervous system, your emotions, everything. And sometimes when two people have completely different sleep needs or habits or patterns, it can create tension, whether, you know, either one knowing if it's right or wrong, right? One person wants closeness, the other person physically can't rest. And I think like situations like this that can bring up a bigger question, which is how do you love people while still taking care of yourself? Because I think a lot of us we were taught that love means enduring discomfort quietly. That if you're a good partner, a good parent, if you're a good friend, a good daughter, you would keep pushing through. That you would tolerate what makes you uncomfortable. You would adapt to it. You would carry it. And I think that eventually, because we are shrinking and making ourselves tolerable to things like this, that we eventually lose ourselves, right? Especially when life can be stressful. Um, and everyone goes through different stresses in life. Like for example, like I mean, for me, I've had this week we've had we've had financial stress, paperwork stress, adult responsibility stress, just a lot of stuff mentally and physically happening all at once. And what's interesting is that being overwhelmed doesn't always have to look dramatic, right? Um, I'm very functional when I'm overwhelmed. You know, it's like making coffee when your brain feels foggy, answering messages of people, family, friends when you're emotionally exhausted, doing your normal routine while internally feeling like your system is overloaded. And I think a lot of people live like that for years without realizing how disconnected they've become from themselves. Another thing I kept thinking about this weekend was visibility, confidence, waiting to feel beautiful or magnetic or noticed without feeling guilty about it. Because sometimes I'll catch myself feeling like I should shrink myself down. Like maybe taking up space is too much. Maybe being confident is too much. Wanting attention is it's not good. Why are you fishing? Things like that. And I know that doesn't come from nowhere, right? And a lot of people learn early in life that visibility can feel unsafe, that attention can come with criticism or judgment or pressure. So, a person will make themselves smaller before anyone else gets a chance to do it for them. And honestly, I think I'm tired of doing that. I really am. I don't think that healing means becoming perfect or endlessly selfless. I think healing is learning how to stay connected to yourself while still loving other people. And that's where I am right now mentally. I'm trying to figure out how to care deeply about others without completely abandoning myself in the process. Um, anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you for sitting with me through this one. And if you listen and you've been a follower of mine, I really appreciate it. Just to let you know, if you've been overwhelmed lately or you feel that you've been stretched out too thin emotionally, I hope you remember that your needs matter too. Okay. Well, sorry this episode is late. I'll try my best to have an episode by Wednesday. Thanks for staying this long. Bye.